No sooks, no lefties. That's the gift for you on a Sunday, and how good are these two? Now, occasionally a little disagreement. Last week was a little peppery. Let's see what condiment has been brought to the discussion this evening. None other than James Ashby, as I say, running for One Nation, the seat of Keppel. And run, Nicole Flint, former Liberal MP, looking $1 million, as always, in South Australia. Now, what about how stupid the government think people are? That this Ute Tax, and it's taking off, that people are understanding that the government wants to get in and decide what car you want to buy or not, and currently people are buying utes and SUVs, right? Oh no, but it's about saving fuel standards, and if we do it, you'll save $1,000. But now that's just $1,800, just numbers being pulled out of you-know-where, Nicole, and they think people are stupid enough because Dunkley, they were able to give a $14 a week tax cut, and that fixed everything.
Well, look, and this sounds very similar to the $275 everyone was supposed to save on their power bill, Paul. So I predict that this will not be delivered, just like the $275 savings on power bills was not delivered as well. But it's not just the reduction of choice that we will see, the increase of costs for your normal four-wheel drives, for your utes and things that's going to hit tradies, farmers, grain nomads, anyone living in rural and regional areas. It's also the productivity cost to taxpayers of sitting around waiting for these electric vehicles to charge, the cost to taxpayers of putting in new charging points across this very large nation. Who on earth is going to pay for that, Paul? We're going to pay for this. Taxpayers will pay for this either directly or indirectly in every single way. It is an appallingly bad policy, but what else do we expect from Chris Bowen, quite frankly?
Well, also, the charging station things becomes kind of chicken and egg, right? Oh, there's no people aren't buying EVs because there's not enough charging stations. Okay, then we'll build lots of charging stations. That's because EVs are going up. Circular logic that means we keep doing the same thing over and over again, which I think is the definition of insanity. But anyway, James, give me an idea. Okay, you're running for state parliament, but you're very across federal parliament.
Yep.
Is it catching on, or is it just one of those things we're talking about amongst ourselves?
Chris Bowen has to be one of the only ministers who has failed upwards. He's done it since the mid-90s when he was in council, and he's done it when he was minister. Yeah, I know, but look, Labor have a habit of this. But Chris Bowen here has frightened the bejesus out of people ever since Labor came to government. And I remember last year, Paul, Toyota, I've got a brand new 79 series Land Cruiser, and I only did that because I feared that Toyota were going to get rid of the V8 in that model. Because they're all trying to meet these emissions targets. So what did people do? The Toyota dealership here, the very last day they were taking orders, sold 200 of these on back order. 200 in Yeppoon alone.
Wow.
So people want their bigger vehicles. They want their V8s. They want their V6s. Now, I use it to go up the beach, and I go, obviously, hauling the caravan out when we go gold detecting. But the issue is Chris Bowen has no understanding of what people are going through. Very few people can afford a brand new car right now with the way that interest rates are. They're not getting any better. I spent a couple of days at Mario Servo over the weekend here at Roslyn Bay. Mate, I can tell you there are people coming in there now that were putting in $4 of petrol in their car. They've got no spare cash. Between rent increases, everything else that's going on, this bloke's dreaming. Nicole, I couldn't fault you before. I love you this week. You're on point. So, look.
Peace and out, Tom.
The point of this is, Chris Bowen's dreaming.
Yeah, but also, look, and you know how focused I am on talking constantly about cost of living because, as you all know, it's what matters, right? And again, I don't care if they win the next election and every seat, they could win every seat in the parliament, right? If you're not there and actually trying to change people's circumstances, Nicole, then what the heck is the point of being there? Well, now, we know, of course, for a certain class of people, it's just to be there. It's just to say we're helping in order to stay in power. Which is why I think the petrol tax thing really should be front and centre. I think it's the only thing I want to hear about the Liberal Party banging away every single day. And I know there's lots of other things, nuclear, all around. Petrol tax, petrol tax, petrol tax. Because if people are literally writing to Senate committees saying I can't leave the freaking house because of the cost of petrol, guess what probably people need to start rallying around as a demand out of this government?
Well, exactly, Paul. And we froze the we froze the excise when we were in government. It can be done, and really, it should be cut. you've just said, yeah, we do have a lot of people, unfortunately, we do have a few seat warmers in parliaments all around the place. But let's get real about some proper tax reform, because excise is out of control. I know that alcohol, beer is more of a luxury item, really. But, this is the sort of stuff that people shouldn't have to be worrying about or thinking, can I afford to go to the pub and have a beer? Can I afford to actually fill my car up? As James has just said, it's a pretty terrifying and distressing situation to be in if you're just turning up to put $4 of fuel in your car because you literally don't have enough money to spend any more on it. So we need to get real again about some proper tax reform in this nation, which we haven't seen since John Howard.
No, 100%. And look, I just think whoever's the first to actually get their arms around this, they're going to connect in a certain way. Whether you're loud enough to move the needle, we'll all wait and see. Now, I want to ask you guys for a little wild prediction here about whether you think Labor will run in the seat of Cook. Now, I think they will, because those are preferences that will help the Teals. Now, the Teals don't have a candidate, but their big financial backer has said, is there one out there? Which we know will eventually, echo through the ABC and such and such. So just simply, do you think Labor runs, or because there's no chance of winning the seat, they don't get involved at all? Because the PM seemed to make it clear that the pre-selection of a bloke was a bad thing. So, the teal dog whistle went out, or dare I say, the chihuahua whistle went out, the puppy whistle went out. And it's all basically who goes first, the people who give you the preferences or the Teals? What do you think, James?
Well, the coalition's had a pretty good run over the last couple of terms. Scott Morrison was obviously a strong member for that area of Cook. He romped it in with 55% of the primary vote at the last election. Labor got somewhere around about 25%, the Greens under 10%. It's not possible for a Teal to even get up in a blue ribbon seat like the Shire, like Cook. That's what we're talking about. Unless they run the Bra Boys.
It's slightly further up, but yes, I get the point that you're making. Again, Nicole, Lib's got that seat, 55% primary vote. The logic of Teal Labor would be, if we can get it to 49% and nobody preferences the Libs, everyone else preferences us, we can get them. Do you think Labor gets involved? Again, I'm not trying to give free advice to these people. I'm just trying to say, hey, don't count things, because there are ways that the chicken and egg and hatching and stuff can go wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know that they want to test their vote again, do they? They've just survived Dunkley, and I also think, they're going to have, given the result in Dunkley, they've got a lot of challenges on their hand around the nation in terms of other seats that they're going to need to fund. So I don't think that they'll probably waste their time and their money on running a campaign in Cook, because the Dunkley result says Labor needs to be focusing on all of their marginal seats very, very closely.
Yeah, that's true. Remember, of course, if that swing was uniform, and we know it's all a little different everywhere else, but basically a dozen Labor MPs would have lost their seats, which pushes them into deep minority, but still quite an issue. Now, let's go to the lighter end of things. Tomorrow, the Oscars. I know everyone's going to be sitting around leaning in. Oh, what jokes will they tell about Trump? Oppenheimer's going to absolutely kick ass, and as well it probably should. It was one of the best films of last year. Most interestingly, like $1 billion at the box office, so people actually saw the best picture this year, as opposed to... Remember when the Oscar went to a movie called The Shape of Water, and I'm not joking, it's about a Sheila falling in love with a fish. Like, nobody saw that movie, but that was best picture. At least $1 billion. People actually went and saw this movie. So, if you had a vote, would you be giving it over, James, to Oppenheimer, or is there a nice little classic up the back of the DVD collection that you think people should go and check out?
Mate, I still haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh!
I'm not one that goes to the cinemas too much.
It is 8 hours long. Fairness.
Is it? Oh, right. Equaliser 3, I'd say. That's more my style.
That was good. And you know what? If you haven't seen Equaliser 3, right, like I love one of those shoot 'em up things. It was Denzel Washington. But unlike most of those movies, he actually, for want of a better term, earns his kills, because like the first hour is really slow, but it shows him falling in love with the locals, all the rest. So when the bad guys come in, so when the revenge kicks in, chef's kiss. Nicole?
Look, I haven't seen Oppenheimer either, sorry, but my absolute best film of 2023 was Sound of Freedom, and if everyone watching at home hasn't seen it, please do. It was an independent production. It's all about conservative values, and it has a really important message about the terrible behaviour that's still going on worldwide. It's a distressing film. It's about child sex trafficking. But goodness me, talking about issues that need to be solved in the world, this is one of them. It's a beautiful film. It was essentially self-funded. They had to crowdfund it because none of the major studios would touch it. So I would just encourage everyone to support them. You can watch it online.
Yeah, it too made an awful lot of money. A lot of people saw it too. And it would be, imagine the opportunity of the people who made that film to stand in front of that audience and rather than telling us all the normal lefty stuff, actually talking about something where right now there's a TV on somewhere watching this ceremony and there is someone being treated horribly in the home where this TV is on right now. I agree with you. Forget all that garbage you see from the internet. Oh, it's QAnon adjacent. Please, rubbish. James, a bold prediction for the week ahead, please, my friend.
Pauline Hanson's going to launch a new vodka this week. It's a Rosella vodka, and it's been made in Yeppoon from Reef Distilleries. But
I was going to say, you haven't been making it in the bath, have you?
No.
No, good. Just check.
No, in the shed, mate.
Right, proper distillery, good.
No, proper distillery. I would suggest this week we're going to see a change. Ipswich West could very much change hands. Labor might lose that seat. Good luck to Mark Bone, One Nation's candidate, but let's see where this goes.
Look, if you have any opportunity to be in that by-election, the chance to send a message to that idiot Miles, I noticed they pulled out Queen Palaszczuk the past couple of days, send them a message. Do it for certainly a message about youth crime, which we all know is horrific in that area, and many other places in Queensland. Nicole, what's definitely happening this week?
Well, I think maybe James might be nice to Peter Dunn again this week. I'm shocked that we've gotten through a session without James attacking our wonderful leader. I think you must be, One Nation must be feeling the pressure because Dutz is doing such a good job and he's a wonderful man. Seriously though, Paul, my bold prediction is that we will probably see yet another tax announced by Labor this week because we've just been talking about the car tax that they're going to be implementing. They've also, Tanya Plibersek is threatening to put a clothing climate tax in place as well. No. So it's not just the car climate tax. She wants to put in a clothing climate tax. And retailers like Kmart are saying, no, our customers can't afford this. We cannot pass this on to our customers during a cost of living crisis. So, you know, let's just keep an eye out for whatever's next because they keep thinking up new taxes and sneaking them in.
It'd be fascinating to see if the local op shop needs to as well in her electorate because I'm pretty sure none of those are going to be environmentally friendly clothes from the 80s and 90s. Certainly, anyway, what she may well have worn to the disco way back when. Thank you.